So continuing with the power mechanics cycle, what I'm testing, yesterday's barbell class was bench, 15-minute EMOM for 3 reps. I stayed light, trying to go light enough where I can move the barbell with some explosive power. And then for the alternating minute, we've been doing these kind of functional skull crushers, which I really like, from my buddy Davon, strength coach. So what we do with this drill is making sure that we time it driving through the lat first, and that carries over into a violent extension. So I had to really go down after a couple sets to just 95 because the bar was slowing down. And the idea is to learn how to produce a good amount of power while maintaining proper mechanics. So if you see these are a lot more explosive, I can really accelerate through the bar, but at the same time, I'm sequencing it. So before I drive up for the bench, I'm flexing my hammy, glute, core, and lat in this posture, transferring all that flex into the bar. So it was a real different experience, making it more dynamic. And then afterwards, did some accessory drills. So this looks like a traditional tricep extension, but same idea. We don't just focus on just triceps, let's say. The idea is anchoring down with the lat and drive, but what makes it different is I'm making this movement more dynamic. So I'm really starting relaxed, and then before I drive, I'm arching through the lat, pinning my shoulder down, keeping the lat flexed to drive out, kind of like the skull crusher we just did. So sequencing the lat and the core into the tricep extension, that's where the power comes from, versus again repping it out in some consistent tempo or consistent pace because there's no power output. I wanted to work a different range of motion because if we keep pushing straight down, that's not going to apply to other movements or movement patterns that I need or the athletes that I train. So we're going overhead with it, so probably more applicable to swimmers, water polo players, soccer players for the throw, things like that, or even jiu-jitsu, wrestling. But if you look, I'm really trying to sequence the core, the lat, into that extension, adding in the power. So the concept is, what I'm testing, I'm not just trying to go faster, be more explosive, which you'll see a lot of these explosive drills or dynamic drills. The emphasis on mechanics first is kind of the thing we're testing. So you'll see I'm trying to engage all the right muscles from the core to extremity. And then right here is just really burning out, making sure every time I drive with that tricep extension, that lat. And I finally got my left lat to turn on, that rib lat area. So since we're messing around with the band, now I'm going to focus on a pushing motion. Same thing to be more explosive on, a push-up, a burpee, a dip, whatever application you have for pushing in this plane, I guess, right? Popping up for us, when you're surfing, but same idea of sequencing, right? If you apply force or speed and punch harder, does it go into your neck, elbow, or shoulder? Is that what's anchoring everything down? So I like single arm work because I could use my other hand to make sure that the pec is engaging when I want it to, especially when I add more power to it. So I punched down. There's Caleb there. And then I also punch at a different angle just to make sure that I have everything firing. So finishing up the set, again, adding in power but keeping the mechanics approach. So it was a good training session.